beautiful message. It's really hard to come back after that.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
Lord.
not competition.
Pasha.
No
Yeah.
competition.
Well, listen to this song. Sing along if you like. Have to stop before I get a copyright violation. That's one of the things when you're doing it live and you're on YouTube, you get copyright violations. But this song vexed me because a friend of mine said the answer is in the wind. And so my mind started thinking, what is the Spirit trying to tell me? So I was praying, thinking, meditating, couldn't sleep, just kept going. And this song came to my mind. I remember this song when I was younger. This was written originally by Bob Dylan. Back in the 60s, he's talking about the pollution, he's talking about slavery, talking about wars, you know, he's talking about people suffering, nobody listening, and he keeps saying the answer is in the wind. Now, he was inspired by Guthrie. Guthrie was a kind of a hippie, beatnik type person that loved to be on the trains and go around the country and be out in the atmosphere, so he could have got the idea from Guthrie and his lifestyle and getting outside your building to experience God. It could have been that. I mean, I've researched the crap out of this. I mean, I was looking at it and I was thinking, Lordy, what do you mean the answer is in the wind? So I'm going everywhere trying to figure out exactly what the Spirit's trying to tell me, right? As I started thinking, the musicians of the past and the musicians now are like prophets. That they come up with this messages they're hearing from God and they're sharing it and I'm listening, trying to learn from it. But I really understood more truth that most of the time those musicians and stuff, most of them aren't prophets, most of them are amplifiers. They're stating the obvious. They're stating breakups. They're talking about wars. They're talking about hurting. They're talking about drugs and laws and violence and, you know, lost love. And they're basically amplifying what we all know is true. And we acknowledge that and we feel comfortable with that, and so we sing the song with it. But what are we doing? We're also acknowledging in our own spirit that same truth, which is not helping. But what does that got to do with finding the answer in the wind? I'm like, duh. I spent a week looking this stupid thing up. A week trying to figure out what God was saying. I looked at experts. I Googled. Google. He's a real expert, right? Google and Alexa. I asked everybody what that meant. And then I was thinking, this was an exercise in futility, but also an exercise to show how many times as religious, spiritual people, we go looking for answers from the experts. We go to the seminars. We go to the YouTubes. We go asking our friends, what is the answer? And the answer has always been inside of us. The truth is inside. The truth is surrounding us. God surrounds us, is inside of us. We are basically God. We don't have to go looking for the answers. We have the answers. I go, wow, that was a week's worth of work for something that I knew all along. I was working my website for this new ministry thing, and I realized my quote on there was truth was inside. So back in 2000, I wrote this. The same week I'm working the website, the same week I'm trying to search for the answers.
You forgot.
I forgot. All the time. So apparently, Spirit wanted me to go through all that exercise, jump up and down, climb through different hurdles, so I can share with you that that's not really a good idea. The truth is inside. The truth surrounds us. Amen?
Amen. Thank you.
Oh, let me read the words since we're all in trouble.
Oh.
I went all in trouble to write them down. I might just as well say them. How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must a cannonball fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years must a mountain exist before it's washed to sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head, pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? That was, of course, in the 60s with the smog, remember? It was really bad. How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows too many have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. And I thank Peter, Paul, and Mary for singing that for us and for putting that thought in my head so I can have a week of hell till I figured out what it's trying to tell me.